Welcome all of you. This video is about the current issues. So today we're going to cover G7 summit. So G7 summit has been in news since so many days, almost a week. And let's try and explore what exactly G7 means. I'm Pramod Singh. I'm the mentor of ISH. Now, recently, why it was in news that the President of the United States of America, Trump, he announced that the 46th G7 summit will happen in person rather than video conference because of the COVID crisis. There was a likelihood that it might be a session which would be through video conference, but instead he said we will try to host it in person. The timeline was 10th June to 12th June. That was in US, Camp David in the USA. US president has recently, just a day ago, he said that we are postponing the G7 summit to September, and we are postponing it. And he further says that G7 is an outdated. What exactly is G7? So G7 is a group of countries. It's an informal group, informal forum, consisting of countries like Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, and US. So this is important from prelims point of view, UPSC. So, but US president is emphasizing that ये G7 जो group है, it is not relevant anymore, and we need to add more countries. So he further says that we are postponing the summit to September, and he wants to rename it to G10 or G11. And further, he wants to add countries like India, Australia, South Korea, and Russia. So these are the intention of the current president of USA. Now, what exactly is G7? Historically, it was set up in 1975 as an informal forum, bringing the leaders of the world of industrial nations. So these were the major industrial nations of the world, and the idea was to bring them together and put a collaborative effort. Now, what is the significance? Now, all these G7 nations are like superpowers of the nation in terms of economy, business, trade, technology, science and tech. So they kind of set global agenda, and their decisions impact the major economic powers, major economic decisions across the world. The decisions in G7 are not legally binding. Remember, it's an informal forum, so the decisions जो होते हैं वो legally binding नहीं होते हैं, but definitely they put a strong pressure because it is led by naturally USA. Now, but there have been challenges and concerns also. क्या challenges है? Let's see. Internally, G7 has number of disagreements. आपस की countries में बहुत सारे disagreements हैं. For example, clash of USA with other members over taxes of imports, action, climate change. Now, recently trade wars, climate change, and a lot of global issues are there where countries are not converging in terms of the solution. And it is believed that the developed countries like USA should take a lead. But USA को लगता है कि probably they are being sidelined, or they are being maybe questioned for their effort. So organization has been criticized for not reflecting the current state of global politics or economics. There are no, एक तो पहला ये है, that means it is believed that they are not reflecting the global politics and economics. Secondly, G7 में there are no countries from Africa, Latin America or Southern Hemisphere. इन जगहों से कोई भी countries नहीं है. It is also facing challenge from fast-growing emerging economies like India and Brazil, which are not the member. India represents almost 1/7 of the world. India is the fifth largest economy in the world. So India should be getting representation. That is a common belief among the thinkers. Now let's talk about India and G7. So India participated in the last summit, which happened in the in France, and it was a reflection of how India is able to develop strategic partnership. And India can act as a major economic power. So we need to make a strategic partnership. Strategic partnership means that the relationship goes beyond the normal scheme of things. It will involve defense, technology, R&D. The scope of integration will be much wider than the strategic partnership. While India has found European Union a difficult jurisdiction to navigate diplomatically, a better relationship between India and European Union is emerging as a policy priority under G7. So EU and India, we are having a lot of issues. One is of course the free trade agreement. So यहाँ पर एक consensus नहीं बना है. So we are trying to navigate this. So G7 could be a strong group where because it is led by the major economies of European nations as well. So it can maybe act as a body where the solutions can be found. India's ability to safeguard its core sovereign interests, such as trade, Kashmir issue, India relations with Russia, Iran, can be discussed with G7 nation. Why? Because these issues impact India, and hence we want a solution which is in India's interest. India has also raised issues like climate change and at meetings which signaled India's growing willingness to lead on the issues that are with point of contention with China and USA. So India is one of the leaders in the climate change. और क्लाइमेट चेंज एक बहुत बड़ा कंसर्न जो हमें देखने को मिल रहा है इन रिसेंट टाइम में. एंड हियर इंडिया इज ट्राइंग टू डेवलप ओपिनियन and bring countries together so that we together fight against this the menace of the impact of the climate change. So India and G7 के ये approach हो सकता है. As we mentioned, there were concerns, but there are criticisms as well. So many thinkers, the political scientists have criticized G7. पहला तो ये a lot of people gather across the world and they protest. And there have been many reasons why protests are happening. पहला तो ये है कि G7 is not a group which represents the entire world. It does not represent Africa, Russia, Middle Eastern nations. They are completely outdated. Similarly, protest group also use worldwide forum as a stage to lobby and campaign on the issues that are important to them. So people, the special groups, they tend to highlight because ये global, platform बन जाता है where you criticize the group and hence you're able to highlight things. The second is, and the most important one is that G7 leaders, they are mostly industrial nations, the developed nations. And they try to maneuver or they try to set the agenda for world trade, which benefits them more in comparison to other countries. So इनको ज़्यादा benefit मिलता है. So there is a feeling that it is creating a wide gap between haves and have-nots in their countries as well as across the globe. And according to a new report published by a non-profit Axfam International, they are saying that the G7 group is not making enough effort to fight issues like poverty alleviation. So these have been the criticisms of G7, and hence G7 maybe need to relook in the issues, and maybe they have to represent the global issues more assertively. So what is the way forward? G7 must focus on key international issues like terrorism, climate change, trade, internal conflicts between countries. As a platform, it must reflect the solutions for pressing issues, which are global concerns like elimination of poverty and issues. We have already have SDG goals are there. So maybe G7 can also be a group because it brings the stronger countries together. It should support the economics at the global level and help establish equal levels among each country. कैसे एक convergence ho, and how do we solve the global issues together? And here these countries can take a very strong lead role. So that is all for today. Thank you very much. We'll come with our next upcoming videos, new videos.